Hey, it's Josh with Million Dollar Restaurant, and I want to start today by talking to you about why I thought it was a good idea to host a workshop on social media strategy. There are three big mistakes that I see restaurant owners and operators making on social. First, they're selling and not sharing. Second, their content is largely boring. And third, I'd argue that most restaurant owners and operators are struggling daily to put out bad content. So, the purpose of today's workshop is to give you a roadmap you can use to create great content that'll engage, grow, and inspire your audience. So, let's start with a story that'll provide a little more context. I want to flash back to the early days of soap operas, when the true purpose of the shows was to sell soap. Back then, what advertisers noticed was that midway through the episode, viewership would fall off. And that was for a very specific reason. All traditional storylines follow the same arc. It starts with exposition, which is the reader's introduction to the story, followed by rising action, where the conflict really begins to ramp up. Then a climax, then falling action, then resolution. Well, in the soap operas, right after the climax, everyone would stop watching. So the advertisers came up with a plan. They ran multiple storylines concurrently, which created multiple climaxes in every episode. And it worked. The result was that viewers would tune in the whole time. And I think as restaurateurs, we can use the same strategy to get attention and increase our engagement. I call it the soap opera strategy. And here are the 5 keys to getting it right. The first key is to understand that the true purpose of social media is to get attention, not to sell. The simplest way to explain this to you is to talk about intent. Think about your own life. When you're looking to go to a restaurant, do you hop on Instagram to find it? No. But when a restaurant catches your eye on Instagram, you might be interested enough to check out their website or maybe go to their Yelp page. You are your customer. You behave in the same way they do. So use social media the way it was intended to spark interest and get attention. The second key is to understand the essential elements of the strategy. You only need 9 things, 3 topics, and 6 touch points. The topics are these big subjects you're tackling, like you, your restaurant, and your people. Then there are touch points, which are the parts of the story you're going to share. For you, you'll talk about yourself, your background, why you built the restaurant, why you love your community. When you talk about your restaurant, you're talking about the inspiration behind the menu. What goes into those individual dishes and what goes into prepping for a busy service? These aren't glamour shots. This is a behind the scene look into what you do for a living. Your third topic could be your people. That's your team, who they are, what they're best in the world at, and why they love working there. The third key is to transform these topics and touch points into a story arc. Create 3 different stories, start to finish. For you, it could be the building of your restaurant, or the creation of a seasonal menu item, or a day in the life of one of your team members. Just tell the stories that would interest you. And the fourth key is pacing. Week 1, launch the first story. Week 2, launch the second. And week 3, launch the third. By week 3, you're rocking 3 concurrent storylines that will inform, entertain, and inspire your audience. We're doing it, guys. We're really doing it. What's left? Creating more momentum. And that's the final key. It's to understand that everything is content. Always keep your phone on you and always capture everything. This is making sense, right? It's dynamic, it's authentic, and you'd be putting content out there that you'd be interested to watch. It's critical to understand that more eyeballs online will translate to more butts in seats. This isn't about creating more social media content. It's about making more money. If you want to talk more about this or discuss other strategies to make money, don't hesitate to reach out using the form below. As always, I'm at your service.